World Bank Chief Jim King has warned that the future of the entire African continent is at risk from the escalating Ebola outbreak in West Africa. The crisis threatens to shut down mining, which is the main economic activity in the worst affected countries. Almost all the mining companies operating in the region, such as Arcellor Mittal, Rand Gold Resources and Petra Diamonds, have South African links.
Liberia, Sierra Leone and Guinea, some of the world's poorest countries, but now the center of global attention because of the Ebola outbreak, the worst in history. Mining accounts for most of Liberia and Sierra Leone's tiny GDP of around $5 billion. Now, those mines face closure because of the virus.
Well, I think a lot of the mining companies have pulled back all non-essential staff. There are South Africa, there's not that many South African mining companies in that region, but there are possibly people in the supply chain that are serving the mining industry. And I think that will have a knock-on effect.
The entire West African region, where many more South African companies operate, remains on tenterhooks, fearing the spread of Ebola.
Hopefully, the huge response to the crisis, the growing crisis, will mean that this is not going to spill over into other countries. But if it does, of course, there are huge concerns, given the lack of medical facilities in these countries, the incredibly infectious nature of this disease, of this virus, and of course, people are scared. I mean, disease is a scary thing, especially something as infectious as this.
Some have warned that the entire African continent is at risk of paying a heavy price economically if the outbreak is not brought under control speedily.
What has happened, for example, to the Africa Rising story? It seems to have pretty much gone off the radar. And the thing is, this has a knock-on effect. If people think that there is Ebola in Africa, perhaps they won't invest there. If they were considering it, they might not. So you might see a lost opportunity cost for Africa until this thing has been reined in. And even after Ebola has been tackled, I think that just raises this thing about Africa as being a continent where diseases erupt easily like this.
It's against this background that the president of the World Bank, Jim King, issued a dire warning yesterday, saying the Ebola outbreak has pushed the future of the whole African continent in danger. Mbongini Muchwa, SABC News, Johannesburg.